Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. Today is Tuesday and that means Tic Tac Tuesday on my channel, and this week I'm going to do the 7 Deadly Sins tag. This one was originally created by Bookishly Malaysia, I think, and I was tagged by Lydia from Something Like Lydia, so thank you for the tag. And of course I will leave the information to her channel and the original creator in the description box below. So let's get started with my sinful answers. The first sin is greed. What is your most inexpensive book and what is your most expensive book? Yeah, as someone who reads a lot of ebooks, I have a lot of books that were for free, of course, and therefore I just take the last one I uh, and that were The Chimes by Charles Dickens, which I've read for Samantha's Dickens read-along in December, and yeah, I've got it for free. And for a expensive book, I think staying in the realm of ebooks, the most expensive book I think to date I bought was The Forge of Darkness by Stephen Erickson. It was about 15–16 euro when it came out, and normally ebooks are about 4 to 6 euros, or some of the newer books can get into double figures like 11, 12, 13, but 15, 16 is really like expensive. The second sin is wrath, and the question is, what author do you have a love-hate relationship with? That would be John Scalzi, because maybe you've seen reviews of Red Shirts or Zoe's Tale I did. John Scalzi is a perfectly fine author for me when he just writes normal books. Then I really enjoy his style and his humor, and yeah, he's a great author, and mostly his books are 5 or 4-star reads for me. But John Scalzi is an author who sometimes wants to take a risk and do something like special, something like more playing with style, doing some authory stuff. And there his novels don't work out for me. For example, in Red Shirts he had a perfectly fine story, which were like the first 75% of the book, and then he ended it with some contemporary short stories, and I really didn't like them, and yeah, that was like a weird experience and left a bad taste in my mouth. And all these short stories seemed more to be about writing from different perspectives, because one was told in the first person, one in the second, and one in the third. And with Zoe's Tale, if you've seen my weekly wrap-up from yesterday, he did a complete retelling of a book he already wrote, just from another perspective. And that didn't work out so well for me as well. So John Scalzi, definitely love-hate relationship. Great author when he just writes books. Not so great author when he tries to play with yeah, style. Next up is gluttony. What book have you deliciously devoured over and over with no shame whatsoever? Yeah, that would be like the whole Dragonlance Chronicles by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, the book that got me into fantasy, and over the years I've read and reread it, I think 4 or 5 times. The fourth sin is sloth. What book have you neglected reading due to laziness? I think that would be The Darkness That Comes Before by R. Scott Becker. That is a book that was compared to the Malazan Book of the Fallen, and it seemed to be a very demanding read with a lot of philosophical themes in it, and normally that is my kind of read, but at the time I tried it, I think I wasn't in the mood, and I was too lazy for that kind of demanding read, and therefore I abandoned it. and that is something I want to rectify in the future and pick up the series again and give this another try. So yeah, I think that book fits the category. Next up we have Pride. What book do you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? I don't really think that that is a question about the book. Let me explain. I think there are intelligent books, and if you read them but you don't pay that much attention, then you won't get anything out of it, and you might not get the things that make the book intelligent. And so when you talk about it, it doesn't really make you that intelligent or intellectually sounding, because you didn't pick up on the things that make the book so intelligent. And on the other hand, you could find like a book that is just a very enjoyable read, and most people don't look into it that much, but maybe it has some cleverly hidden themes or things like that that most people don't pay attention to, and then you pick up on them, and you can talk about a more joy read in a very intellectual way. So I don't really think that that is a question that can be really answered by just naming a book, because it's not only the book you talk about, it's the way you talk about it maybe that makes you sound intellectual. And I can talk very intellectually about a children's book, and I can talk very like badly or non-intellectually engaging about a classic. Next up we have lust. What attributes do you find most attractive in male or female characters? I think it's the same as with people. I really like intelligence in characters and people. So hinting at the last question, people you can talk intellectually about books. That would be something. But intelligence overall, I really like it when characters are intelligent. I also like humor a lot, to see that intelligent people don't take everything too seriously as well. I really like that. And I like kindness. Because in our world, often if you are kind, everybody looks at you, where is your hidden agenda? You don't just do that because you are a nice person. No, nobody is a nice person anymore. And I don't think that is true. So I really like kind people, and I really like characters that are just kind without having a hidden agenda. And the last sin is envy. What books would you most like to receive as a gift? That might be books that I can't buy digitally, because you might know that I only read like digital books and buy digital books. So it might be a book that isn't available, and that would be, for example, Chris Wilrick's series, the Gaunt and Bone series, I think it's called, and the first book would be The Scroll of Our Years, or something like that. I will put the cover up here. And this is a book by Pyre, and Pyre had some very bad developments as a publisher lately, and one of these developments is that they aren't able to publish every book they do in ebook format for some reason, and so there are like 3 or 4 Pyre authors and series that I actually can't get digitally. So yeah, that would be something for a physical book gift. So these were my answers for the 7 Deadly Sins tag, if you feel guilty of having performed one of the deadly sins once in your life, then please feel tagged and do this tag. I'm looking forward to see your take on it. If you enjoyed my take on it, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. If you want to know what's coming up on my channel, please look inside the description box. There's a little segment there called On the Horizon. I wish you a sinful reading week and hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye.